Hello, in this video we are doing paper 1, chapter 6, which is anthropological theory. In that we are doing neo-evolutionism. We have completed a basic write-up on neo-evolutionism. We have done with Gordon Childe and Julian Stewart. In this video we are going to focus on Leslie White. Alright. Okay. So Leslie White. He taught at the University of Michigan and worked among the American tribe Pueblos, and he published two important books. He published two important books, which is The Science of Culture, and then he came up with a book, The Evolution of Culture. He defined culture in more scientific way. He treated the idea of evolution very scientifically. So his main focus was on scientific study. His work is known as binary work. Leslie White's work is known as binary work. His works laid the foundation of neo-evolutionism. According to him, culture refers to an integrated We'll write down a definition of culture now, which is according to Leslie White. So culture refers to an integrated, dynamic, and symbolic system whose most important component is technology. Okay, so his most important component is technology. By defining culture in this manner, he combined the idea of psychology, history, technology, and sociology. Symbolic system, dynamic, integrated, and with the component of technology. So this laid the foundation as well as an independent field called as culturology. It laid a foundation of independent culturology, and it connected to the other discipline. In his scheme or in this theory, there are two major components. Okay, in this theory there are basically two more components. Okay, so in this there are two more components. First is energy, second is technology. So he elaborated on the interconnection between these two. He basically talked about the technology as well as energy and their interconnection. In the earliest stage, there was a revolution of energy in terms of primate revolution. It talked about the energy primarily residing in non-human primate ape, right? The source of energy is with human, and the energy which was consolidated in human body came from the non-human primate order, and this shift is called as primate revolution. Now this primate revolution refers to the mobilization of bodily energy by pre-human social order in such a way to create the human social order. This process of revolutionary change is known as primate revolution. For example, early social order or early social order in the form of was instilled only the presence of an alpha male. The power was alpha male who exercised control over other member, both male as well as female. Now this exercise of control of the alpha male gave rise to group living. He had control both over male and female, and hence this basically gave rise to group living. Okay, the alpha male could discipline the behavior of the younger men and also could orient his behavior towards the female of the group, thereby creating a kind of group living which was possible by mobilizing the bodily energy. So this was everything that group living or reserving all the women for himself and teaching younger men of the group. This came basically because of energy, and this is how he did the mobilization of energy. So according to Leslie White, this continuity marked the link between human and pre-human. Pre-human link. So according to Leslie White, these continuity marked the link between human and pre-human social order. The early kind of human society was based on mobilization of bioforce. So the pre-human society, or early human society, not pre-human. Okay, so early human society, if we talk about them, then there was more force, more energy, and when the society progressed, men and women both harnessed other sources of energy such as fire, water, wind, stone, and other natural resources by using technology. So advances in manufacturing of different types of tools, domestication of plant and animal, intensification of agriculture, all these things led to the increased efficiency and created a cultural education. Technology has its own efficiency and limitation. He gives an example of X. He gives an example of X. He says that a culture is which relies on this technology has its own efficiency. The member can cut wood. For example, it can if they can cut one full grown tree in 3 hours, that does not mean that it can cut out 10 trees in 30 hours, right? So the technology has its own limitation, that is that it may break. This is possibility. See, this axe is something, if you are able to cut a tree in 3 hours, so does this mean that in 10 hours you will be able in 30 hours you will be able to cut 10 trees? No, this definitely does not mean this, because there is a possibility that your axe may break. Okay, so this is basically the law of cultural development. Law of cultural development, which he argues in any culture, energy harnessed per capita per year is a function of technology, and the formula which he gave was energy and technology determines the cultural evolution. See, cultural evolution is a process from which a homogeneous character is converted into heterogeneous character. Simple society moves to complex society, and the cultural evolution is in the function of energy and technology. In other words, it is a culture develop sophisticated technology to harness more energy. That points towards cultural growth or evolution. With passage of time, every culture invents new technology and invents new method of harnessing the energy by using the new technology, and this finally culminate into cultural development. This is basically called as the law of cultural development. For example, if talking about this thing in very crude form, you see, when human there were no basically pipes, then human they made pots first. What happened? They used to go to the river and drink water, and hence their settlement were nearby the river flow, okay, on this side or that side. But when they made pottery, they started making pottery, now they could even shift to this place because they have pottery now and they can store water in that. But at the same time, you will realize that now the distance increased, so people they had to walk. Okay, so this basically this walking will consume energy. And now what happened? Now one establish a company here, factory here, and then it provides a tube to this particular household. Okay, to this household. So now what will happen? This energy will be basically done away. So when the technology increases, the human energy decreases, and that is the law of cultural development in the most simple way. Second is law of social organization. So Leslie White found out that for a society to exist and continue, there are three factors which are important. First is nutrition, which is the adequate food supply which is necessary. Second is protection, internal as well as outsider. Third is reproduction. After which a society progresses. Now these three factors are meaningfully connected. The law says that social organization is a product of different interplays of these three factors. So basically this social organization S equals to N into P into R. So this is a kind of a formula which is basically the denotes the social organization is the outcome of the interaction between nutrition, protection as well as reproduction. To conclude the Leslie White identified units which were scientific for the study of cultural evolution. So he identified certain units which was important for scientific study. So when Leslie White comes, you remember two things: energy, technology. Okay, so an accurate measurement of these units were possible, and he also connected it to physical, psychological, biological and ideological level. According to him, there are three important components determining the cultural evolution, which is technology and social component, techno-economic and social components. The manner in which groups are formed, the manner in which access to the natural resources is present, that comes under the social component. Then there is ideological factor, that like factor such as cultural values, good and bad morality, ideas, ideologies. So that comes under the technological and economic aspect. So these are something that is important: law of cultural development and law of social organization, the formula, these three things, and the units and cultural study, energy and technology. So this is how you conclude the Les Levitt. In the next video we will deal with, just a minute, okay, Elman service. Okay, so thank you for watching.